How you doing? This is Lynette. I'm Lynette, same old thing. I don't understand the system. How the United States is letting things happen this way. I came to New Orleans to get me a place because I had to leave Texas for push out a renovation. And y'all know where it caused me to be not having a place to stay when I came to New Orleans. But when I came to New Orleans, I realized that Texas and the Hondus and Iranians and ISIS and the Africans from Africa and Jamaica has took over everything in the system. It made it hard for me to get on my feet because they was taking care of their people in New Orleans. I don't know where New Orleans people at, but I knew they took over everything in the system. I know that whoever was over New Orleans should have never had no one from any other place to take over the system because I learned when everybody from other states and across that water take over the system, you don't have too much of a chance in New Orleans as a New Orleans person. They're looking after their own people. I learned that many people that took over the system with SSI, disability of any kind, FEMA, Section 8, housing, if they took over all this area and New Orleans is doing it, just the people who came out of state has took over that. They looking out for the people. I don't believe that anyone should take over the system of New Orleans, but New Orleans people should have that because they have to take care of the city of New Orleans, people that lives here. But if you have everybody from everywhere have took over New Orleans system, the system is taking over the business, city hall, SSI, and housing, uh, FEMA, SSI, uh, Section 8. When you have somebody else from another state, from everywhere or from the countries over the seas, like the Hindus and Iranians and Africans and Jamaica, taking over your city, they're going to look after their people before they look after New Orleans people. That's why I believe that New Orleans should run their city in the system than anyone else. Because at least I know that they will take care of New Orleans people. But if you don't have that going on, like they took over City Hall, the Texans and everybody, and they messed up a lot of things going on in City Hall. And everywhere I called, like FEMA, and everywhere I spoke, they didn't help me. They kept on bringing me in circles. I'm a New Orleans woman, and I did not get no help because the system from SSI, Social Security, and all that was taken over by other people from other states and other places, like overseas. The Hindus, the Jamaicans, and the Africans from Africa. They're not going to look after New Orleans people. They're going to look after their own people and put them in places. Just like FEMA. I went in circles and circles for 8 times, and they denied me from being anywhere. They didn't help me, but I learned that they was taking and putting the Texas people in the hotels where I needed to be somewhere to lay my head because I'm coming from Texas to New Orleans trying to find a place to live. It's hard to get things when you're under assistance. And I went to SSI housing. They told me they had one room, one one apartment that they have, everything is full. That was impossible to understand because there's so many apartments right there. But they had one. But they told me to go to get a voucher to get into the place. Now I know I would have got that voucher. I would never got that one room. One apartment. I know because they kept on running me all in circles with everything. Now I feel like the system should be run by only New Orleans people because they're gonna look at the New Orleans people as well as people that's coming to move in that's from different states. We don't have no problem with other people moving in from California or Atlanta or Chicago or Texas. We don't have no problem with that. But I had been having a problem getting in somewhere so I can have somewhere to lay my head because everybody was the system was under Texas and the foreigners, and they made sure I have a place to stay, but they was taking care of their own in New Orleans because they was under the system. The system is, working in City Hall, SSI, and housing and Section 8. If they took over that area just like they have, they're going to look after their own before they look after New Orleans people that should have first place in the system in getting somewhere to live because they are the citizens of New Orleans. But it's not good for everybody to take over New Orleans from different places because they're gonna look after their people. If if you come from California, they're gonna put you somewhere because you are California, because they're from California. Texas, they're gonna look after Texans because you're from Texas. But what about New Orleans, the people that live there? Are you gonna look after us? For for me, they didn't do nothing for me. FEMA ran me in circles and then denied me. They denied me of a loan, and then they told me when I told them I wanted a hotel, just like they was giving them Texan people, putting them in hotels to stay. I had went and waited 2 weeks. They said, which I'm on the street. I had to wait 2 weeks for a phone call. That's too long. That should be emergency for me. And then when I went into the place where FEMA was at the library to see what was going on, my 2 weeks is almost over. They said, now we had canceled. It's all over with for to get into the hotels. Well, why 2 days before I showed up? All of the vouchers or whatever was over to get in the hotel. But I'm finding out people from Texas can be after me and got into the rooms in the hotels. Because you know why? Because FEMA was nothing but Texas in the library. Everybody was looking out for their own people. That's not right. We as New Orleans citizens should have been in places before anybody. Now, I've been going through changes because everybody from all over the world, from over the seas in Texas, is in the system of New Orleans and City Hall and everywhere else. So they don't want to help the citizens of New Orleans because they have took over everything and they're looking out for their people. That's not fair to me. I have been going through changes because I am a New Orleans woman trying to find her way back in New Orleans. And they're looking out for who they are. African, Jamaica, ISIS, Texan, wherever you're from, they have took over everything, even in a news report. News reporters. I call and say, I want to talk about this on the news. I get an answer from a Iranian. She said, we don't do the news like that. I say, you telling me my situation is not news? No, we don't do that. So I called the police department because they didn't want to give me my money in the bank in the Wolf Forest in Walmart on St. Andrew and Russo. So they didn't want to give me my money, the theft that I had, that they didn't want to do the report. They messed around in a way I knew it wasn't right, and they were stealing my money too. I'm wondering why the news don't want to take and hear me out that I'm having problems getting my money at that bank because everybody is in the system and they agree with each other to keep New Orleans people down. So I called to see, I would like to put in the news, come on the news and talk about my situation. We don't do that. I called the police to ask them to come in the bank to let them know that they need to do things right and let me get the money stole from me. Many things was stolen from me. Much money was stolen. And they say they don't do that, the police. But I find out it's a foreigner answers the phone. So I don't get no help with that. The foreigners don't come and see, send the police into that situation. So FEMA sent me in circles, giving me denial. But I'm learning that they let me in Texas, which FEMA was not but Texas in it. And they was not even putting my report in the computer. I'm wondering why my situation is not in the computer. They didn't put it in there. I said, why is that? This girl that was up in FEMA, up in the library, she took 2 different reports for me at different times, and none of it is in the system. They tell me it sends it off. They send it off, and it's not no more in the computer. That's not true, because what you put in the computer is data. It's supposed to be up in the computer in case you need to go back into seeing about something that you need to correct or to put in. It should not be going into another system, and she said it's no more in the computer. That's not true. I've been going into circles just like they say I need an investigation of a report in FEMA about the storm. She goes into the hotel I was to see if I'm telling the truth, I guess. She says that the roof on the hotel is fine. I said, I don't have nothing to do with the roof. That's the owner supposed to deal with that if they have damage. I told you that I have damage with my clothes and everything. She said, well, FEMA don't deal with clothes. I said, that's not true. I have been paid by FEMA before over a storm because we lost our goods and everything thereof. Now, you gonna tell me that FEMA don't have nothing to do with destruction property that was ruined in the storm? That's not true. Because I know I had got paid a long time ago for some problem in a storm for our property being damaged. But she said, no, we don't deal with nothing but the roof of a person. I said, that's not true. They wasn't planning on giving me FEMA money for that because they figured that I'm from New Orleans. I don't matter. Nah, I talked about different things to them, but I realized they wasn't putting it in the computer. They wasn't trying to give me anything. They told me to wait 2 weeks for a phone call to see if I could get a hotel. But they never called, but I went in the building and find out that she said 2 days ago they cut the funds off for the hotel. well, why didn't y'all call me? But I'm hearing other people from Texas saying they got a hotel, they got a hotel, they got a hotel. Why? I'm on the street. I'm a woman. I should not be on the street. You should have had me there because I've been coming for a long time, for a couple months, to try to get into a hotel. But everybody was getting in but me. You know why? Because there was Texas running the system. They took care of their people. That's why I believe if you from New Orleans, only New Orleans people should be in the City Hall, SSI, FEMA, Section 8, and housing because they going to take care of the people. And then if anybody new coming from another state, they'll see about them too. We don't have no problem with visitors coming to move in from other states. But when you from other states coming to New Orleans to take over the whole system of everything, and then deny New Orleans people from having any help, then you're not right. We should have help before anything because we live here. I'm a New Orleans girl, and that's not right. That's not right at all. I've been struggling in every way. FEMA turned me down over and over about long. Then they did not make a way for me in a hotel. But while I was waiting to be in a hotel, they was getting all Texas in there, and Honduras and Rangers and whoever was part of the system. Um, Everybody that connects with the system wasn't trying to let me come in. And I learned that other people from New Orleans wasn't getting in the system neither. They wasn't getting taken care because everybody that came from out of state was taking care of their own. They had come in the state to live or whatever. They wanted to stay in a hotel for certain at the time. They was taken care of. Why you will let, well, Constant or whoever will let another state take over New Orleans system, foreigners take over New Orleans system, because it should not be. I believe that if your city should have everyone from New Orleans to run the system. Because I see that when everybody from other places has took over New Orleans system, has let down the people from New Orleans and took care of their own. Because if you from Texas and you run in certain places like City Hall or SSI or FEMA or Section 8, you going to make sure your people come in and have a place to stay or money to have for themselves. So I'm out here trying to make a way, and they're making a way for everybody but me as a New Orleans woman. Now, how New Orleans women and men gonna survive if everybody's in there from another state and from another country is looking out for their own? How New Orleans gonna survive? New Orleans people can survive and live there. I learned that New Orleans people have left the city because they pushed them out, because they didn't want to help them. It was all about their own. The city of New Orleans should be under New Orleans people in the system. I learned that City Hall was the computers and everything was messed up because people from Texas and other places caused the system in City Hall to be messed up because they didn't know our system. And that's our records in City Hall. New Orleans records of our birth certificate and everything is in City Hall. That's vital records that's important to protect. You don't let other states and other cities, other countries take over something that's of New Orleans because it is messed up. the system is messed up in City Hall because other people and states and countries took over the system of the City Hall building. I'm tired of fighting to try to get on my feet. Everybody has took over the system from Africa's, Jamaica's, Honduras, ISIS, Texas is in New Orleans. They're in the higher parts of the city system. And because of that, I have trouble getting assistance that can help me out. We are New Orleans people. We should be able to be taken care of quicker than anything. But if you not, Texas and everybody that took over the system, they're not going to look after us like we should because they're over the things that we should have to take care of our people of New Orleans. I'm tired of them turning me down. Just like when I went to Section 8, they said, well, we don't have no more room. Now I'm looking at these apartments of many. I know even the people who live there has said that they have a lot of empty apartments. But they tell me they just have one apartment out of all those buildings. And then they send me and say we don't have no more Section 8 voucher. Section 8 in here for the off year. You have to go to Section 8 and get a voucher. Or we have one, maybe. That's how she said it. I know when I went to Section 8 to get a voucher, by the time I get over there, that one room apartment is gone. I'm not stupid. Just like FEMA brought me through all kinds of changes, but it was nothing but Texas people that did not put it in the records of the computer. Every time I went, they didn't have my records in their computer. My complaints of what happened through the storm, they didn't have it in there. Only thing they had was that I was denied from a loan. And then I go and do things this way, all kind of directions, trying to get on my feet. But I hear Texas people is doing good, and they are in the hotels, and they are everywhere getting their needs met. But I am going through troubles to get in a place of stay. Why is everybody running the Orleans system? Don't you know in City Hall, they messed up a lot of records? But City Hall should be run by only New Orleans because that's our business up in there, our personal business that no one should see. If they don't like you, your business is messed up. Come on now. When New Orleans gonna step up and let them see that City Hall got our personal business, and if it's run by other states or out of the country, if they're not right by you and they don't care for you, they're gonna mess up your business in the building. In which I found out that they did destroy a lot of things in City Hall. I used to sleep and sit in front of the sitting on the post, and I saw many things happening. They was doing all kind of things up in City Hall. But that's something the councilmen have to deal with, not me. I'm just there because I have a place at peace to stay by myself. Why I have so much trouble with getting on my feet? Everywhere I go, they got some denial or some rejection towards me for receiving a place to be at peace. Just like I told them I want to be in a hotel because I'm not going to be doing nothing but saving my money and get prepared if I need to get an apartment. I need to jump. I need to stay in a place so I can save my money. And they did not care. They never cared. They set me in circles and they denied me everything. And sometimes things wasn't even in the records of the computer. Twice or several times what I had told them about. I said, why it's not in the computer that I want a hotel like everybody else that was getting it. I heard many people talking about they got a hotel and they wasn't from here. But I should have been on my feet. I've been asking them for that for longest. But everybody else was getting into a hotel. I'm on the street. I'm a woman. I should have been emergency system put in a hotel fast. You got the system. What you want me to wait 10 days here and go do this and go do that? I'm going through all kind of changes to get in a hotel when they have it easy and got it in there quick in a hurry. Because you know why? Because Texas and the foreigners that run the system of FEMA and everybody else. So they're going to look after their people. But we from New Orleans, we should be having the first priority to go in somewhere to help us. They help the men quicker than the women. I don't know why, but that's a shame that we as women or whatever have it hard trying to get into our own hometown and have help. We should be the first to help. But because the Texans and everybody took over, we are pushed to the side and not helped. We're going through troubles. Like me, I am going through all kinds of things to get on my feet. Nobody want to help me because they are not New Orleans people. They're looking after their own. That's why City Hall is messed up right now because these is records up in here is nothing but New Orleans people records of birth certificates and all that. And guess what? That's not good for New Orleans people. When are y'all gonna step up and do right by me? Now y'all took care of y'all people. I'm from New Orleans. I'm New Orleans girl. Give me what's mine, just like you take care of your people. I'm not having no problem if new people come into the city of New Orleans. You have the right to live here if you want to. But don't take over the whole system, SSI and FEMA and all food stamps and whatever y'all have to help people. Don't take and come over here and then reject the New Orleans people and look after just your own. That's why I have trouble getting into a solid place for myself because these not New Orleans people running New Orleans no more. It's everybody but New Orleans. And guess what? That's not right that we can have the things that we deserve. Now you running it now. Be fair to New Orleans people too, plus as well as me. And most New Orleans people ran out of town because of them taking over everything. Now I am not running. I expect a place to stay. I expect it not to be pushed to the side because you are Texan or foreigner or Iran, Iraq, or ISIS, Jamaica, or Africa. Now y'all come over here and take over everything, but don't push us out because this is our city. I'm Lynette. Yeah. My name is Lynette. I'm a miracle worker, a minister. I am a person that stands for myself. I am not doing nothing but trying to get away for me to live in my hometown. Don't reject me because you have everybody but New Orleans people in the system. Do right by us too. We live here and we deserve to have everything we supposed to have. Okay? I ask you to do right by me and every New Orleans person in there. It's not too many because y'all took over everything. Just help us. And that's all I ask for. Y'all have a good day.